In this video today, we're taking a look at the Noorio Floodlight Cam Battery Pro. This is their 2K Floodlight camera. We're going to be taking a look at the features that it offers, what comes in the box, also doing some demos of what this thing looks like during the daytime, nighttime, and also doing an audio test. So if you are ready to see what this device offers, stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. So this is my first time taking a look at a Noorio branded camera. I also want to thank Noorio for sending this camera out and sponsoring this video. I'm pretty excited about this because they had a lot of good reviews on Amazon and their pricing is pretty good too. This is a 2K camera right here. If we take a look at what it offers, we've got our 2K QHD ultra brightness on here because we've got that massive floodlight on it. And in fact, it actually has 600 lumens, which I'm really impressed by. We have colored night vision, local storage, 16 gigs, so it's going to be recorded on that camera. The cool thing about this one right here is that they also have a hub that you can put in the house. So very similar to what we're seeing from Eufy, where you can have the hub inside, saving all of that footage. Noorio allows you to do that too. We've got advanced AI detection on here, 180-day battery life. I love seeing that. We've got the ability of setting up activity zones, IP66 weather resistant, two-way audio, Wi-Fi connection on here. If we flip it over, some things that I want to point out, we've got a 4 megapixel image sensor on here, 1440p video on there, and temperature is going to be -4 to 122 Fahrenheit, and it's going to connect to your 2.4 gig Wi-Fi, which is pretty typical. All right, now that we know what features this camera offers, let's see what comes in the box. All right, so here is what we have in the box. We've got our quick start guide. We've got our template. This is going to allow you to set up your screws, inner screws here. We have got our anchors and the screws in there. We've also got our mount. So basic mount that we see right here, 2 screws on the back. This is going to allow us to point it in any direction that we want to. We have got our cable. This is going to be USB-C on one side, USB-A on the other. There is no power brick, so you do have to have your own brick on here. We've got our 24/7 monitor sticker if you do want to put that up. And then here is the camera itself. So we've got our 2K image sensor up here. Looks like we have a small mic there. Maybe on either side is going to be our night vision lights up there. We've got our motion sensor down below that. And then all around this is going to be a floodlight camera right there. So I'm pretty excited about that. This is going to produce up to 600 lumens with that light right there. So pretty cool. On the bottom, we've got our speaker, 1/4-20 mount on the back. Pretty standard for most cameras. We do have a QR code here. If you do scan that QR code, that is going to bring up the app for you to download. Up here on the top, we have a sync button. And then we've also got a little port up here, which is going to be our USB-C cable for charging. Now, this thing is actually really hard to get open. I've tried to actually use it with my fingers. I needed to get a pair of pliers. So I'm going to go ahead and open this guy back up. We're going to get it fully charged up, set up, and then we're going to go ahead and install it outside. All right, we have our camera fully charged up now. I went ahead and created an account on the app, and it brings me up right here. I'm going to go ahead and click on Set Up a Device. It wants access to my camera, and I guess I just scan the QR code on the back right here. Looks like I'm good to go. Go ahead and skip those steps right there. Where am I going to place this? Let's go ahead and put it in the backyard. Use my location. So I'm going to go ahead and get this connected to Wi-Fi. It's pretty easy. You're just going to follow the steps, get it connected to Wi-Fi, get it all set up. I'm going to go ahead and go through the rest of these steps here so I don't bore you guys with this, and then we're going to go ahead and set it up outside.
Welcome to Noorio. Please set up your device in Noorio app.
Okay, so we have the base screwed into the side of the house. I've connected this end right here to the back of the camera, which is just going to make it easier for the install. So I'm going to go ahead, we're going to screw this on, tighten it down. We'll position the camera where we need to, and then we've got our solar already hooked up, which should make a pretty easy setup. All right, that made it really easy. I just tightened this ring right here, which put the camera in the position that we wanted to. The more you tighten it down, the harder it's going to be to adjust the camera, but I've got it in the spot that I wanted to right now. So we've got camera installed. I've just got the solar panel that's just all the way back up here, sitting on top of the roof. So just mounted up there, getting great sun. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We're going to go ahead and test the camera out now. So Noorio also sells a base station that you can keep in the house. This is going to allow you to record all of your storage locally to this device, so it doesn't have to be stored up in the cloud. It makes it super easy and convenient. You can either plug it into Ethernet port on the back, or you can connect it wirelessly like I have now, and then everything is saved locally on here instead of on the camera. All right, now let's take a look at some of the features that we have in the app. If we take a look, here is the camera already set up. You can see the image right there. Above that, we have got different modes that we can quick select. So we've got our option here for home, away, sleep. We've got to disarm right here, so it's not going to do any kind of recording. Now down below this is where I have that hub installed. So I can go ahead and click on that hub. If I want, I can see the storage, how much storage is being used, how many events have been recorded in there. So that's pretty cool. We can see what devices are connected to the hub, say via connected to Wi-Fi. So we've got those options right there. We'll back out of that. Down here at the bottom, we have got tabs. So we've got our events tabs where we can see all of our recordings. I really like that. I like this layout right here. Some cameras that I've tested in the past with their apps don't have this, and I'm really happy that this one does. We've got our security with different modes right here, and then you can set up different automations too. So I guess if you get more Noorio devices, you can set up different automations with that, which I like. So let's go ahead and I'm going to tap on the camera. We're going to bring up a live view and see some of the options right here. So we've got our live view up. We have got a button right here in the middle, the blue one, the call button. That's going to be our two-way audio. Just to the left of that, that is going to be our record button. So we can record what we're seeing live if we want to do that. On the other side of that, we've got our little picture button. So you can take a picture. Pretty standard stuff right there. On the very bottom, we've got our events tab. That's just going to take us back to the other tab that we saw before. We have got our speaker, which is currently muted. We've got our siren, and then we've also got our spotlight. So quick launches for all of those right there. I can go ahead and I can turn my camera to the side to bring up a full view onto the phone right there. If we go up to the top right corner where the gear icon is, this is going to bring us into the settings of this device for here. We can rename this device. You can turn it on and off, which is a feature that I do like seeing in cameras. We've got our motion detection zone. I wanted it to be as sensitive as possible, so I did turn it up. It says it's going to be about a 30-foot range. You can turn it down from here, and it's going to adjust the range right there. I wouldn't mind as sensitive as possible, all the way to 30 feet, so I adjusted mine right there. We've also got our video settings. So HDR, I have mine off. That came off by default. We've got our video modes right here. So by default, the spotlight does not turn on at night, which I thought was a little interesting. By default, it was set to night vision mode. So if you do want that spotlight to turn on at night, make sure you're going into the setting and turning on full color mode. Backing out of there, we've got our watermark and timestamp. That is something that if you do plan on using your footage in court or, for the police station or anything like that, they always do require a baked in timestamp. Some cameras don't do that. This one does. So I like seeing that right there. Let's back out of that. We've got our notifications. We've got power management. So here's another one that I did change. You can set your power source up top. Now I do have a solar panel on mine, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to change that one over to solar panel. We've got battery safe mode, which is what it's set by default. We've got optimized, and then we've got custom. So I always like to change mine to custom. I hit the little gear icon, and by default, this is set to 20 seconds of record length, and it's set all the way to retrigger after 60 seconds, meaning that after that 20 seconds of recording, you're not going to get another recording for 60 seconds. I don't like that. This is something that I wanted to record. If there's something going on, I want to record it. So I set mine retrigger to 5 seconds, and I like my video length to be about 60 seconds. So that is what I set mine to. It does say it's going to drain the battery faster. I don't care. Those are the settings that I like to set up for mine. So let's back out of this guy right here. Those are pretty much it. You can change your Wi-Fi settings, whether you want it to be the hub or Wi-Fi. You can check your storage, all that good stuff right there. But that is pretty much the breakdown of what you can do with this app. Now that we have seen that, let's go ahead and take a look at some demo shots to see what this camera is capable of. All right, we're just in the audio and video quality with the camera right now. I'm about 10 feet away from the camera, so you can kind of hear what it sounds like and what it looks like. We're going all the way back to the wall behind me. That's about 40 feet over back here. So to give you guys an idea of what the camera now this is during the daytime, so the next time we're going to do is we're going to test it without the spotlight at nighttime. I'm going to go ahead and test it with that spotlight. All right, we've got our recording now spotlight on, but this just gives you an idea of what the camera looks like. I'm going to back all the way up here. So now you can see what it looks like from all the way back there. Now let's go ahead and get that spotlight turned on and see what that looks like. Okay, there it is. All right, there is the lights and what it looks like at nighttime. You see how bright that giant circle is right there. Let's see it all the way back over here. Hopefully you guys can
TV well all the way back over here. And just to give you guys an idea of what that spotlight looks like. That thing is pretty bright, but overall, what do you guys think of the demo of these cameras?
All right, well, I'll tell you what I thought about the demos. I thought the video was actually pretty good. For a 2K camera, the video was pretty nice. I thought it was nice, clear. I could see everything that I needed to, at least during the daytime and with the spotlight on. During nighttime, when I didn't have that spotlight on, when I got all the way back to the fence over there, it was pretty hard to see me. You couldn't really see that much. Obviously, this thing has a giant spotlight on it, so you're going to be utilizing that feature. If you were planning on not utilizing that feature, you can see that it's actually not that great. So just keep that in mind. Now, you probably couldn't hear it in the video because I got to say the audio was pretty terrible. You couldn't really hear it that much. But the camera for me is mounted about 9 feet up, and I was standing about 10 feet back from the camera during the initial talk. When I walked all the way back to the fence, that was about a 35, 40 feet away from the camera, just to give you guys an idea of placement on how far back I was with the camera. So even though the video good, the audio was lacking pretty bad. That was something that I'd like to see improved with this system. Now, another thing that I did notice when I was doing the demos is that when I went into the backyard and I had the spotlight turn on, it actually took it a few seconds before that spotlight kicked on. It wasn't an instant on like I was expecting it to be. So that is another improvement I would like to see with this camera, to have that spotlight turn on quicker as soon as it detects motion. But maybe those things aren't as important to you, so that's something that you are going to have to decide. Overall, picture quality I thought was really good. Once that spotlight turned on, it was nice and bright. It lit up the entire yard, so I did like those features about it. I also like that it did have that separate hub that I could keep indoors that's recording all of my footage locally, so that was a plus for it too. It needed help with the audio. There were a couple of other nice to haves that I would like to have baked into it, but overall, I thought it was a pretty good camera. As always, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. I will have links to this camera in the description if you guys want to check it out. If this video is helpful, give it a thumbs up and let me know that you liked it. As always, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and I will see you guys in the next video.